Brazil football has gone from the highs of samba to a muted, somber face. The five-time world champions suffered a 1-4 defeat against Argentina in the World Cup qualifiers, the highest margin of defeat in the event. And while they are still poised for World Cup 2026, the loss has opened a Pandora's box because there are serious concerns over a sport the country lives and breathes. Brazil's recent loss was heavily critiqued because they were up against a Lionel Messi-less Argentina. And while Argentina may not be entirely dependent on Messi, the South American rivalry was expected to be at least a closely fought affair. Two giants with some quality players going up against each other was expected to reignite that charm that's always around this fixture. But even without Messi, the rest of the players ran riot against Brazil's core, a core that comprises some of the best players in the world: Vinicius Jr, Rodrygo, Rafinha and Cunha, all match winners on their day individually for their respective clubs, but as a combined force still faltered to deliver for their country. So following the loss, FIFA's best player of 2024 demanded an overhaul.
Everyone did badly. We played badly and Argentina played an excellent game. We have to rethink everything we have been doing because the pressure will come. The people want us to win.
Vinicius said Brazil needed to rethink everything, and the immediate reaction to Vinicius' statement was Brazil sacking their head coach Dorival Junior. Once again, Brazil is without a head coach as they get into the international break. Following the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, Tite was sacked after his 6-year spell. Since then, they have had 3 managers, 2 caretakers and Dorival, who was hired as the permanent one. And in the quest to rejig everything, Brazil are now once again hunting for someone to lead a revival that they are desperately seeking. 2 prominent names have been linked to this job now, which is Real Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti and Jorge Jesus, the Al Hilal manager, both having a portfolio full of silverwares to boast of. While Ancelotti has been clinical with Real Madrid, Jorge has been the man behind the Saudi revolution since 2023. But the only tricky situation Brazil finds itself in is, can they get these names given their current contract situation? Ancelotti was close to joining Brazil back in 2023, but due to improper communication from the management, that deal broke off. All the hype ended up with Ancelotti signing an extension with Real Madrid instead, and a deal that runs through to 2026. Jorge too is with the Saudi club till 2025 and has reportedly shown interest in the Brazil profile, but will he face the same fate as Ancelotti? Because for any manager, Brazil is always a lucrative place to work at. The talent that comes from the country, the passion that fans share for the sport, it's unparalleled, a paradise for any manager. But also pressure now with the state that the sport in Brazil finds itself in. What any incoming member will face is a crumbling football system. Brazil's domestic structure hasn't been the best for years. They aren't in the top leagues. But the one thing that has been kind of constant has been the fact that it has still generated talents, promising talents. Vinicius, Neymar, Rafinha, all examples of it. But what it has now come down to is a system that just doesn't care to revive. The allegations of corruption, improper management have all rendered Brazilian football unsustainable and toothless. A ray of hope came in the form of one of their greatest footballers, Ronaldo. The World Cup winner bid for presidency for Brazil football. But as the elections approached, he wasn't backed by the local federation. And in Brazil, the backing of local federations is crucial. Their votes play a key role in the result, the final outcome. They can determine who takes charge. But what Ronaldo saw was no communication from the regional federations because everybody was backing Ednaldo Rodriguez, ultimately leading to Ronaldo opting out of the race and Rodriguez getting reinstated as the president. Now here's the thing, late 2023, Brazil was on the cusp of facing suspension because of Rodriguez. He was removed from his position by a local court, a third-party interference that led to Brazil also being warned by FIFA, which dissipated when Rodriguez was reinstated the next year. This is what Rodriguez brings to football in Brazil: governance issues and a brief history that is tainted and has been trophyless. They chose him over a Brazilian true hero, someone who knows what it takes to represent that yellow jersey, because he would have instilled that sense of pride. Among all current players would have Ronaldo. At the moment, even that seems to be in tatters. And add to that the state of affairs on the field. Their biggest player and probably a leader too, Neymar, has been absent because of injury since 2023. Brazil for long have tried different names in that leadership role on the field. None have stepped up as true leaders. And it hasn't translated in effective efforts on the field. Vinicius has just 6 goals in 39 games. A player who has been clinical for his club, Real Madrid. Rodrygo has scored 7 in 33 appearances, another star for Madrid. And it isn't just the front line that is lackluster. No clear successor to Casemiro in the midfield. That's a worry too, and that has meant they have failed to create those chances. And back in defense too, they have lacked the quality to stop their biggest competitors. So clearly, sacking the coach alone isn't going to solve Brazil's woes. The former giants need something beyond that. They need the missing spark. The sport needs a Brazilian comeback, because football without Brazil is like cricket without Australia or India, tennis without a top 3, a Formula 1 season without Ferrari or McLaren. It might survive, but will it thrive with the same fanfare?
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
No, I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.